Hi there and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole and today we'll be having a look at this coming Saturday's meeting here at Fanny Bay, which will be the 16th of October. A tremendous 5-race card has been assembled with some 51 acceptors and close on capacity fields all day. The meeting promises to complement the major racing in the other states, including the Everest in Sydney and the Caulfield Cup, of course, from Melbourne, on what is one of the biggest days racing in Australia. The first local race gets underway at the mid-afternoon time of 2:38 p.m, with the last of the 5 time to go at 5:11 p.m. Let's hope the weather gods treat as well as they did here a fortnight ago. The opener is the Great Northern Handicap. It's a 10-horse 0 to 64 1,300 metres, and in the first my numbers are 5, 3 and 8. Going here with the Gary Clark trained Siakam, well actually I think it's pronounced Seacom. I think he's a basketballer in the States, so Charlene tells me. So Seacom, we'll go with Seacom. Number 5, Jared Todd rides. I think it could be a pretty good day for the Clark stable. They never trained a winner here at the last meeting a fortnight ago, which is unusual, but I think they'll fire up at this meeting with some really good chances. The first of them, Seacom in the first. Good run here on the 11th of September, finished second on that occasion behind the smart Mr. Monaro. Going up and trip Seacom from the 1200 last time to the 1300 here. That won't worry this horse, and I think this consistent 4-year-old will be very hard to beat. Number 5 on top, Seacom. To beat number 3, Brahmavi Ruboy, last start winner for Chris Pollard, and Jess Gray takes the mount, as she did when the horse won here on the 2nd of October. Going up in grade a little, but was certainly impressive the other day and should race well again. And then for third, another last start winner, number 8, Our Sustar, trained by Chris Nash, and Stan Sakos goes aboard this time. Vanessa Arnott rode last time out, but Stan in the plate this time. 1200 last time, up to the 1300 here. Shouldn't worry, Our Sustar. In the first, the numbers are 5, 3 and 8. The second's the Dirndl and Lederhosen Handicap. I hope for all our German viewers that I've pronounced that right. Of course, it's Oktoberfest race day here, so it'll be a really good day to be on course, not only for those festivities, but of course the good racing both locally and interstate. Numbers in the second, 1, 3 and 4. He's pretty hard to beat in a race of this kind. Number 1, Vernavalu, the 1200 over the 0 to 70 company suits him. He's actually won some 7 times over this trip from 18 starts. He's trained by Phil Cole, Wayne Davis in the saddle. He actually drops in grade from his last start, good second behind Eastwood. That was on the 11th of September. And as I mentioned, he's a very good galloper around this grade. So I've got him on top, number 1, Vernavalu. To beat the up-and-coming horse, number 3, Pembroke Castle. He is a 6-year-old, but he's trained these days by Mark Nine. Paul Shires takes the mount, and he's done a really good job since transferring to Mark. He's won his last 2, including here over 1,300 metres on the 2nd of October. Shares he rode him on that occasion. He's dropping back in trip, probably a little bit of an issue, but he's a pretty smart horse, and I think he'll race really well again. And in for third, number 4, Lido Beach. Chris Nash, the trainer. Stan Sakos in the saddle. Really good run here last time in benchmark company behind Sebricate. He's going up in trip, but he's coming back in grade, and he's another one that'll certainly make his presence felt here. Numbers in the second, 1, 3 and 4. The third's the Hofbrau and Schnaps Handicap. Be plenty of that going on, plenty of beers and what have you to be consumed in the Oktoberfest pavilion on the day. This is the 1100 for the benchmark 54 gallopers. Numbers here 2, 1 and 5. He's only had the 1 start in Darwin. Number 2, Lockie Patera. He's trained by Gary Clark and Jared Todd in the saddle. He was scratched here for failing to go in the gates at cup time. He had to trial after that, which he passed, and then he's had the 1 run. That was here on the 11th of September behind Pembroke Castle. He finished 5th on that occasion, but I know the team was pleased that he went in, jumped out, did everything right. He's a bit of a trick, I understand, but I think he's got a bit of ability, and I think he'll be hard to beat here. Number 2, Lockie Patera. To beat the fresh runner, number 1, Bar Gem. Good to see Normie Bracken back with a runner. Great trainer, Normie, over the years, and former very good jockey as well. Adam Nichols takes the mount here. Is drawn awkwardly out at barrier 10, but he does possess a lot of early toe, and I think he goes pretty well fresh. So I think Bar Gem will give you a decent run for your money, number 1. And in for third, number 5, Yoshi Toranaga, another one from the Gary LaFoe stable. Paul Shires in the saddle. Hasn't had a run since the 11th of September. For 5 weeks, and that was behind She Shines Bright, finished second on that occasion. Won a couple of starts prior to that down the road at Catherine. So numbers in the third, 2, 1 and 5. The fourth's the Silks Darwin Trobus Handicap. This is the Class 2. This is over the 1,000 metres. Interesting race, this one, with a couple of newcomers to Darwin. But my numbers here are 6, 1 and 2. Found this race tricky, so I went with number 6, Mr. Mo Feed, trained by Phil Cole and Wayne Davis in the saddle. Fresh up. Hasn't had a run since the 8th of May, but Coley certainly been known to produce them in a fresh state in the past. This horse has gone some good races in higher grade than this, including a few starts back behind Pasito. That was in a 0 to 70. So if he's up to the mark, which I'm sure Coley will have him, I think he'll go a good race, number 6, Mr. Mo Feed on top. Ahead of the two newcomers from out of the Darwin Triad Horse Sale, and they are number 1, New Roman, and number 2, Noble War. Both sold through the sale. New Roman, a $30,000 purchase in the stable of Kerry Petrick, Casey Hunter in the saddle, formerly trained in South Australia and had some pretty good form down there with a win and 3 seconds his last 4 starts. The chestnut by, by Written Tycoon, so I've got him in to run second. In for third, Noble War. He cost $28,000 at the sales, bought by clients of Tayan Holter's stable and Paul Shires in the saddle. He did his earlier racing in Queensland, and another one with some pretty good form on the board. So looking forward to seeing those two from the Triad Horse Sale, but my numbers in the fourth are 6, 1 and 2. The last, the Prost to Oktoberfest Handicap. Absolutely cheers to Oktoberfest. This over the 1,600 metres, 0 to 58 company. The numbers in the last 1, 3 and 5. Number 1, Taciturn for me. Jared Todd goes back aboard for Gary Clark. Good second here last time out behind I Know Where You Live, who is a rival again. But crucially, he's 4.5 kilograms better off this time. Last time, I Know Where You Live had the benefit of an apprentice claim. Hasn't got that this time, and I think Taciturn gets his chance here. Got a great record at the mile. He's won 5 times and 11 times placed over this trip. Number 1 for me, ahead of I Know Where You Live, number 3. Wayne Davis for Phil Cole was a good winner, as I mentioned last time out, but just that weight differential this time I think plays into the hands of Taciturn. And in for third, number 5, Prince Reuben. Gary Clark, the trainer. Paul Denton takes the mount on Prince Reuben. Last start 4th over 1,200 metres. He was running on that occasion, so I think the step up and trip will suit him. Number 5, Prince Reuben. Numbers in the last 1, 3 and 5. The best bet comes up in the last, incidentally. Race 5, number 1, Taciturn. I think this is a winnable race for him. Good record, as I mentioned, at the mile, and Jared Todd back aboard. Well, the best roughie, and I don't think it'll be that rough, is a stablemate of Taciturn. In race 4, number 4, Bell's Banner. Newcomer to the Clark stable. And as I mentioned, don't think it'll be that rough, but I've got it in as the best roughie. So watch that one, race 4, number 4, Bell's Banner. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll be back again next week in advance of Cox Plate Day, one of the great days on the calendar, of course. That'll be the 23rd of October. Following that, the next Darwin meeting here will be Melbourne Cup Day on the first Tuesday in November. Can't wait for that. Until next week, good luck and good punting.